Hello everybody, how's it going? It's me, Crendor, and welcome back to another Almost Too Old for This, the channel where I react to Jesse Cox's Too Old for This channel, where he reacts to pretty much whatever he wants to at this point, but it's supposed to be content for Gen Z and Gen Alpha. However, today it appears we are going to be reacting to that. A little side thing here, but I did watch the latest episode of the Digital Circus, and that shit was insane, so... I'm excited to react to Jesse reacting to it next week. That should be fun. But man, that was crazy. So now I have to suffer through Looksmaxxing. Is it going too far? Here we go.
All right, we're doing this again, and this time we're taking a look back at a topic we covered a few weeks ago. Looksmaxxing. Dudes on the internet doing whatever it takes to look their best, even if it's absolutely crazy stuff like bone smashing, which now I know way too much about, but apparently there is so much more to learn. There's a bunch of different ways to Looksmax that I can't believe I'm saying Looksmax. This is where I'm at, y'all. There's apparently a lot of stuff out there, and thankfully, there is a video that was sent to me that is going to explain it all in 7 minutes. I just want to preface by saying, I don't necessarily have a problem with Looksmaxing. Frankly, I think however you want to look, go for it. Whatever you want to change about yourself, sure, man, have fun. Doesn't affect me in any way. I have no problem with it. It's just for some reason, there's just something, I don't know, cringe, weird, I don't know how to describe it, about the...
It's the obsession, right? I feel like this is like the obsession with it. Like it becomes like how like in Hollywood, everyone gets plastic surgery. It's like, it's pretty much on that tier at this point. It might even be a little crazier, you know, like it becomes like that is all these people live for, right? That's kind of how I view it. Maybe I'm going to change my mind after watching this, but here we go.
Culture online around it. I'm fine if you want to get work done. I do have concerns about that like butt implant thing. I feel like a lot of people die from that, but like if you want to do it, I don't care. But it's one of those things where the culture around it is what interests me because it's very strange. It's very like I'm trying to look good, and I assume the...
Wait, hold on. What did this shit say? Oh my god, just go back. Is ignoring the foids while munting and mogging moids? Bro, I'm already too old for this shit. What the hell is this?
It's very strange. It's very like, I'm trying to look good, and I assume the objective was to get girls or to like get people interested in you, but it doesn't seem like that's the case because a lot of Looksmaxxing is being very attractive for the internet, for videos, for photos, but it's all kind of fake. We'll find out. We will watch this video and we will find out.
I'm ready to find out. Here we go. Very exciting. YouTube.com/Cox and Crendor podcast. We just hit 500 episodes.
Okay, so
go subscribe.
There is a warning.
Link below.
I don't think I've ever seen this on YouTube ever. It says the following content may contain suicide or self topics, and then literally links to a suicide or crisis lifeline. Shiro Protocol. What is your channel? 6 videos. Started a year ago. The goal of Shiro Protocol, which by the way, just the all rights reserved thing is very funny, is to create science-based and sponsor-free content. Every video is thoroughly researched. All studies and review papers are listed in the descriptions. But the topics, I mean, I guess this is how you play the internet game. Based on the channel description.
Wait, what is this? So we got prevent and reverse hair loss. How to glow up using science. We made 1,000 people rate their attractiveness. How to reach your height potential before it's too late. Every Looksmaxxing method. Fix your eye bags, dark circles forever. All right, cool.
It sounds like, okay, we're going to get some like real research stuff.
Here we go, real science.
Then the videos are like science back fix to dark circles. Maybe I actually need that. Looksmaxxing method explain.
I mean, I don't mind the video titles and the thumbnails or whatever here, as long as we're gonna get what it's telling us, right? Are we gonna get some science-backed information? I'm doubting it, but
explain in 7 minutes. That's what we're gonna watch. How to reach your height potential before it's too late. How to glow up using science. These could be very scientific, but it also could be the same type of science we see in like the crazier parts of the internet where it's just not really science. They used an article and then pick some random things and we're like, science, see? Science. I don't know. We just have to watch.
We just
In
gotta
this
watch.
video, we will explain every popular Looksmaxxing method using science. Mewing. Mewing simply means that you change the resting position of your tongue. You place your tongue against the roof of your mouth and swallow excess air to create a vacuum effect. This position forces nasal breathing and correct posture. There is a lot of scientific evidence proving that these are the two most important factors for proper.
You're telling me sticking my tongue to the roof of my mouth is gonna change my jaw this much?
There's no
this
way.
much? It like
That's some
added
shit.
bone to this man's face. This has to be surgery. This can't be real.
That's
this
definitely
can't
some
be
surgery
real.
shit.
This man went like this. He like changed the shape of his jaw that much? I mean, it's clearly his chin. He does have the one side a little bit bigger than the other. But like, that doesn't make sense to me. All right, but we knew what mewing was. We learned about that.
Facial development, and especially for achieving
I mean, I'm pretty sure your tongue is supposed to rest on the roof of your mouth, just in general. Like I found like some, just from typing this in, it just says like from I Smile Dental Care, proper tongue positioning occurs when someone gently rests their tongue on the roof of their mouth and away from the teeth. It's like your tongue's supposed to rest on the roof of your mouth anyway. But I don't think it's about to add like 4 inches to your jaw. Like maybe it's posture correction. I mean, that would probably make more sense, right? Like if you're always looking down and like, oh, and then you start looking up, like obviously your chin's gonna grow because you're looking up. It's like that type of shit. It's like the meme where it shows the guy like standing and then it shows him like standing way far back and they're just like, all he did was step backwards or some shit, right? It's like that.
jaw forward growth.
Like this before picture, this after picture. The before picture, the guy's like looking down. So he's got like a double chin thing happening. And then the next one is he's kind of like leaning forward and looking up and he's got his chin out. Is that mewing then? Just simply changing the way you do this?
I mean, hold on. That's yeah. I mean, if I go full screen here and I'm just like, and then I'm like, and then I'm like, like obviously my chin's gonna be bigger. Like no shit.
Like this?
Mewing isn't magic, but it works. Carrot maxing. Carrot maxing is the idea that eating lots of carrots will give you a golden tan. And that's actually true. Carrots contain beta-carotene, which can tint the skin over time. Multiple studies show...
Bro, fun fact, one of my mom's uncle, so like my great uncle or some shit, man ate insane amounts of carrots to the point where his skin actually did turn orange. He wasn't Looksmaxxing. I think he just thought carrots were insanely healthy and got obsessed with it. So, just a fun little story there.
That this can increase perceived attractiveness. But be careful, too much beta-carotene can make your skin look orange, not glowing.
Also, fake tan can do that too. Wink. In some cases, don't know what.
It's not fake. We love carrots. We love beta carotene. I get alpha carotene. I'm not beta. I am very alpha. We get the alpha carotene from the carrots.
I'm talking about. But yeah, all right. Eat vegetables. I mean, that's a solid look max, I guess, is you can make your skin change color depending on what you eat. That's a known thing.
Neat.
But you would have to eat a lot of carrots. Like,
gotta eat a lot
I
of
guess that's
carrots.
the point of carrot maxing, is you would have to eat a lot of carrots every single day.
Yep.
There's worse things you could eat, to be honest.
Height maxing. In 1922, the average man was just 162 centimeters tall. Today, the average man is 178 centimeters tall. That's a 16 centimeter increase in just 3 generations. This significant height increase is not due to genetics or evolution. We have nearly the same genetic height limit as our ancestors. But thanks to better nutrition and hygiene, newer generations are now exceeding 180 centimeters on average. So the goal of height maxing is to optimize nutrition to a degree where the genetic height limit can be reached before growth plates close.
I think it's sad that a lot of this desire to be taller than the average height, over 6 feet, is really just because of social media and the countless videos of some random girl being like, I won't date a guy unless he's above 6 feet. The thing that you just have to understand is that that's one of those kind of feeds on itself things, where if a girl sees another girl say, oh yeah, I don't date a guy unless he's above 6 feet, that can lead a lot of other girls to say the same thing. It can also lead a lot of men to get the idea that girls only care about that, and so then they become bitter and angry about being shorter or whatever. Who the hell do you think you are? But the general population, it's not really a thing, right? Like,
I mean, I don't know. I would disagree and agree at the same time. I mean, listen, take it from somebody. I'm 5'7", all right? I'm literally below the average male height. But like, I don't give a shit. Okay? I think that's the big thing. I don't have the Napoleon complex. In fact, I've had so many people. In fact, I've had an insane amount of people. They're always like, dude, I thought you were tall. Like, you give off tall guy energy. And then they'll like meet me and be like, dude, I thought you were going to be taller. And like, initially I was like, all right. But the more I thought about it, I was like, it's just because like I'm confident. Like, I don't care. And I think that's what it boils down to, is just a lot of short guys just don't, they're insecure, and insecurity isn't attractive, right? And I mean, sure, there's going to be people that are like, I won't date a guy unless he's like over 6 foot or whatever. But like, okay, then just go date someone else. If anything, then it becomes more insecure. You're like, why doesn't this person like me? That's insecurity. Because you're insecure that somebody wouldn't like you for your height. And you just go like, hey, you know what? They don't like me for my height. The same way, you know, people have various tastes and different things they like about other people, you know? That's just, it is what it is. You accept it, you move on. You deal with the cards you've been dealt, and you roll with it. In fact, you can make jokes about it. You can do some self-deprecation. You can do whatever, right? I mean, you know, look at that. I'm married. Toaster Woman's like 5'1", so like, you know, I'm 6 inches taller than her. So look at that. Like in our relationship, I am tall, right? It's all about just perspectives and, you know, your different situations, and, you know, like, we're a Hobbit family. It is what it is, right? And you know what? I still don't mind being 5'7". I think it's, I actually kind of like it. Anyway, carry on.
Like, there is the very stigmas about being tall and short and da-da-da-da. But most people, love is love, man. It doesn't matter how tall a person is. If they're into you, they're into you. And it's interesting that this is, I'm about to say superficial, but the whole damn thing is superficial, you know what I mean? This is just, how do I get beautiful and tall and get people to love me? Which I think probably should be something discussed in therapy rather than a video on the internet, but
Nah, you can't
Ice
do that.
maxing. The goal of ice maxing is to ice the face in the morning to debloat.
Oh,
and get
that
softer
guy!
facial features. And yes, it works. There are counter studies proving that cold causes blood vessels to constrict, which results
Sure.
in reduced puffiness and makes the face look more defined. It will also
It's also why some people will say that if you take a really hot shower, at the end of it, turn on the cold water so your pores close up and everything tightens up. I don't do that. Well, that's a lie. Sometimes if I work out, I will then take a shower, but because I worked out, I just am a sweat machine. So in order to stop it all, I will just stand under a cold shower for a little bit afterwards. Yeah, all right, yeah. But it's not about puffiness. It's about the fact that I don't want to be sweaty. Same.
But I actually, that's a good pause screen. I actually did contrasting showers for a while because I heard like there's health benefits to it. There's nothing really like super proven about it, but there's like some theorizing that it could be good. I mean, you know, it feels good. I thought it felt good, but at the same time, it can also be like intensive on your heart. So like you have to make sure that it's worth it if you're, you know, you got heart issues or whatever. And then I'm just, at this point, I'm just taking hot showers, man. And then, you know, in the summertime, I might take a cold shower. Like, I actually do like the cold showers. It feels good sometimes, but, you know, whatever.
Same thing though, you know.
help with inflammation, especially if you have dry or acne-prone skin. Towel method. The towel method is a mystified term.
Really quickly, we're blowing through this, and I
The
guess I'm
towel
trying to
method?
figure out. So there's links to places, and I'm trying to figure out if these are like
Is he gonna
scientific.
talk?
So the mewing link leads to science.
Hold on, he's not talking about the towel method. Imagine, just imagine, all right? You're like a woman trying to date one of these guys, and you're like, yeah, he seems pretty nice. And you like walk in on him, and he's just like got a towel. He's like, ah. Like, that's the type of shit that like no normal person's gonna walk and be like, oh, he's just towel maxing, right? Like what is this? It's like so dumb.
Through this, and I guess I'm trying to figure out. So there's links to places, and I'm trying to figure out if these are like scientific. So the mewing link leads to Science Direct, breathing mode influence on craniofacial development and head posture. The sentence of abnormal breathing and its consequences on craniofacial development is increasing and is not limited to children with adenoid faces. Boy, I don't know what that means. The objective of the study is to
Dude, we're trying to break down scientific studies over here. Meanwhile, I don't think either of us are qualified to break down scientific papers. I don't think the people also making these videos are qualified to break down scientific papers, honestly. But I mean, this sounds like it's good for your posture, right? Your tongue is supposed to rest on the roof of your mouth. It probably makes it so you just have better posture, which is in return attractive and healthier. That's pretty much it, I think. I think they go above and beyond by being like, suck that tongue up there and be like, right?
Evaluate the differences, the head posture, nasal breathing. This is tough. This is tough because I would have to read the whole thing. And I feel like this is one of the biggest problems with this saying, oh, I linked you an article. It is an article about facial structure and breathing, but is it going to say that mewing is an effective thing to do? You know what I mean? That's a tough one. Let's look.
Also, a lot of these, are they just linking like one study? Like, there should probably be like multiple studies on these things with like, they include like the sample size and all that shit? Because like, that's what happens a lot of the time. Like, anybody can do studies. That's why all these companies are just like, this thing is great. This thing is bad. This thing is great again. This thing is bad, right? Because there's like so many studies they keep doing. There's like survey studies. There's like actual, double-blind placebo studies and shit like that. Like there's so many different types of studies. Nobody's like looking into that. They're just reading a headline and going, right? That's all it is.
Look at cold-induced facial puffiness stuff. Okay, this is experimental psychology. Cold-induced cutaneous vasoconstriction in humans. Rapidly skin temperature. Jesus Christ. This is why people don't read studies, man. All right. This is what I thought this was going to be. This is exactly like the other guy we watched who was like, don't jerk it. You're releasing your energy.
Yeah.
This dude is saying a bunch of stuff, and then he is linking to articles that on a bare surface level say, hey, this is a thing, right? Like icing down, getting cold on your body can really help you. But he's implying that dunking your face in ice every morning reduces puffiness, gets rid of acne, does this and this and this and this and this. The articles he's linking aren't about that. If he had linked to an article that said, oh yes, this is what would happen.
I mean, he's essentially linking an article that says putting your face in cold is like a vasodilator, right? So like when because like the whole theory behind like contrasting showers too was that, right, you expand the blood vessel and then you shrink it real quick, right? So it like tightens, and then you like back and forth. And there's like different theories behind like, what do they call it? Like different T cells, or not T cells. They're like killer cells. Maybe it is T cells, like get released when you do that and it helps fight off diseases and stuff. There's like some studies showing like that could be a thing, but it also might not be a thing. There needs to be more studies behind it, but people will take that and just be like, it's real, right? It's like that type of thing. So they're saying like, oh, you put your face in water, it's cold, and then like tightens up and it closes the pores. So then it like makes it so the pores can't get like oil in it or some shit, and then like it reduces the puffiness of the inflammation. But then like it's only gonna last as long as the cold lasts, right? Then it just goes back to whatever it is. And usually it's like puffy for a reason, right? Like there's a reason the puffiness is happening. Is it just like like some sort of low level inflammation throughout the body? Is it caused by your diet? Is it sugar? Is it, there could be a billion different reasons, right? To just be like dunk your face in cold. It's almost like you're also just putting a Band-Aid over the actual problem that's occurring, right?
Sure.
Neat.
But I'm looking through this article. I got nothing. Like I got nothing on acne. I got nothing on puffiness. I mean, even in the findings bit here, it's not talking about the thing that he's talking about. So linking to the article is pointless. As an educator, this is the kind of stuff that pisses me off. Anyway, we won't look at the links anymore because they're clearly just not helpful. We'll just see what he has to say, and we'll learn more about Looksmaxxing.
But essentially it just means biting on a wet towel to train the jaw muscles. Social media claims that it reduces facial fat and gives you a better jawline. And yes, this method can strengthen your jaw muscles. However, it won't give you the results you're hoping for. First, there's countless evidence proving that it's not possible to spot reduced fat. And second, training your jaw muscles this way can cause facial asymmetry, misaligned teeth, and a distorted appearance.
It's the same thing as when they tell you that if you have like a saggy neck, don't even know what you would call that. Like you're trying to train your neck muscles, is you're supposed to go like that. I don't know if that works. I just know I saw that one time on the internet. And
I mean, that's another good pause actually. I I mean, I guess it could work. I mean, listen, as somebody who's like super into physical therapy and working out and stuff, right? It makes sense that you would be doing exercises to essentially strengthen the muscles you don't use. Because the problem with like saggy neck and all that is like you're just like, right? But then when you're doing this, you're stretching all these muscles out, you're strengthening them. Like you start doing things that you don't normally do to strengthen muscles you don't normally strengthen, and then that helps the other muscles get back to normal, right? It's kind of like the donut theory I've heard with physical therapy, where you work all the muscles around the problem, because odds are that the problem is, not always, but a lot of the times, it is because the surrounding muscles are weak, right? Your hip flexors get tight because your glutes are weak, or because your quads are weak, or like there's usually some sort of weakness in the surrounding area, and by fixing that allows that area that's like to like relax, right? That's why your upper traps get so tight, because you're just sitting there with your head hunched forward looking down, and your upper traps are like, holy shit, bro, can we just like pull your head back a bit so I can relax, right? Because then your mid back's just all like weak and not used, because it's just it doesn't have to be used, right? So it's a lot of those things, so I can see that.
And that's the same thing as like bite on a towel. Except I imagine it would ruin your teeth, right? Like, same reason why you don't bite on other random crap in pool. Okay.
Hunter maxing. The goal of hunter maxing is to train the muscles around your eyes to achieve so-called hunter eyes. Hunter eyes are characterized by being deep set and having no upper eyelid exposure. Studies show that individuals with hunter eyes are generally perceived as more attractive. However, there is currently no scientific evidence proving that hunter eye exercises work, and it gets worse. The skin around your eyes is the thinnest on the whole body. Stretching or contracting this type of skin will cause movement wrinkles, which results in significant visual aging. Potassium maxing. The goal is to consume more potassium.
Part of me is
Potassium maxing. Like what? Iron maxing, magnesium maxing, vitamin C maxing.
so interested in the final level of this. Does that make any sense? Or the end goal? Because surely the end goal is to look great and whatever. I want to say, in a perfect world, this is because these people want to look their best for themselves. But I just know that can't be the case.
It's definitely not the case.
It feels as though this is look great for someone, you know, the perceived as more attractive with the eye thing, right? If that's the case, and you get your eyes all huntery, and you're perceived as more attractive, and you start luring women to you with your attractive eyes, eventually they're going to figure out you're kind of like a vapid ass. So is the objective just to lure as many women as you can before they realize that you're kind of up your own butt with the Looksmaxxing stuff and have no personality other than Looksmaxxing? If you're doing all of this, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like no one's thinking that far ahead, to be honest. Why am I?
Which is believed to...
I mean, I think it's just like, to me, this just feels like a form of body dysmorphia, right? Like, to me, this feels like these people see their flaws that other people just don't see, right? It's the same reason why you'll see somebody and they're like, God, I look so ugly today. And you go like, what are you talking about? Right? Or like somebody will just be like, God, I'm like the ugliest person ever. And you're just like, what are you talking about? Like, people do it all the time, but it's a body dysmorphia thing, because people that are hyper aware of their flaws or little things, they'll just look and be like, see, I have like this tiny little thing right here. Everyone's going to notice it, right? It's the same as like somebody will even edit a video. I mean, you could have like, you know, it's like this hyper awareness of stuff. Like you'll edit a video and be like, oh my God, I edited that little thing terribly. Everyone's going to notice it. They're going to hate this video. And like nobody even notices it, right? It's almost like a disorder. I mean, the Looksmaxxing stuff is definitely a disorder, right? But I mean, it's the same thing with plastic surgery or a lot of different things. So therapy would probably be the best option, like we said earlier.
To result in a leaner, more defined appearance by debloating your face.
Was that the same man? My man turned into Eddie Redmayne. How's that possible? This looks less like a guy who potassium maxed or whatever, and instead got that thing where they suck the fat out of your cheeks.
Yeah.
Or he starved him.
It looks like he went from being a normal human being to being a like starved vampire in the woods or some shit.
Himself, and this is his like thinnest form. But I'll be honest, I think the pre is a little more attractive, at least to me. Not that that matters, but you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
The other
He
guy
just looks human.
Sorry, Redmayne, you don't do it for me, man. I don't know, like I don't want to be judgy on someone's looks, but I just feel like the guy on the left is a little more natural looking. I guess none of this is about looking natural, man.
And yes, this actually
it's
works. Potassium helps to balance.
Again, like this feels like a body dysmorphia thing. It's like it's probably the same as plastic surgery, where somebody's like, I have like too much fat here, or like this is my chin's not big enough, like that, and then like normal people just are like walking around being like whatever. If anything, they're probably more worried about themselves, right? It's the thing where everyone's walking around like thinking about themselves and like how they look to other people, and nobody cares what other people look like.
sodium levels.
But deep bloating his face wasn't bloated. I've seen bloated face. Shit, I've looked in the mirror and seen bloated face. That first guy looked fine. That'd be like saying this dude we're watching right now has a bloated face.
By eating more potassium-rich foods, you can flush out excess water, leading to a significantly leaner and more defined appearance. However, keep in mind that fluid balance is about the right ratio of sodium to potassium, so overdoing it like that will not work. Lean maxing.
Can you believe it? Having too much of something is bad, but also having not enough something is also bad. It's almost like you should just have like a balanced diet and live a balanced life and not do anything to the extreme. Like, I don't know, probably not maxing anything out. That seems like a
The goal of lean
fair
maxing is
assessment.
to reduce the overall body fat percentage to make the face look more defined and sharp.
Sure,
Multiple studies show
yeah.
that facial
Hold on, I gotta go back. Why is this shit gonna go back? Yeah. Okay, again, on the left, he's got me then. On the left, he's like... And on the right, he's like... like, he's doing a completely different face. The one, he's just like, I'm chin tucking right now. And then on the right, he's just trying to like look like, yeah, I'm pretty cool. I'm giving you like the, I'm kind of evil and right. It's just like
Sure,
shit's so
studies
dumb.
show
Yeah.
that facial fat.
I mean, that's just
It's just different
weight loss
pictures
for a lot of people. I have a lot of friends, especially in LA, they're trying to get that like cut jaw look, which just means they aren't eating a lot.
Will influence your looks immensely, and losing it is the most effective way to improve facial aesthetics. However, you do not need to starve yourself. A study by Fink and colleagues showed that being 12 to 14% of body fat is optimal regarding perceived attractiveness. Maasai jumping. The average Maasai man stands at 6'3", making them the tallest man in the world. Their height is mainly credited to a specific tradition, called the Maasai jump. At ceremonies, they repeatedly jump up and down. This repeated force on the bones might stimulate bone growth. The concept behind it is called Wolff's Law, which states that bones adapt to mechanical force, similar to how training in the gym.
There's a lot of mites and maybes being thrown
Yeah.
about here. Yeah, bones react to
that's all,
things,
like,
but the idea
pseudoscience.
that jumping makes your bones grow, I don't know that that's true. I said I was going to look stuff up. We're just going to watch. All right.
So the goal of performing Maasai jumps is to stimulate bone growth in the legs, resulting in increased overall height. But be aware, on paper, this could work. However, there's currently no scientific
I was
evidence.
about to say, none. I don't
Be
even have to
aware
look that
that-
up.
Thumb pulling.
This
Thumb pulling is the idea of pulling the face forward by placing your thumbs against the inside of the top of your mouth.
Dude. Dude. Young people will just do about anything to fit in and be loved and be attractive, and that has never changed.
I mean, I don't think it's not even young people. It's just people in general. Like, there's old people. Look at what was her name? Joan Rivers. She's like what, like 90 or whatever, getting plastic surgery. Like, this is just a people thing. People are always gonna have an awareness of their flaws. People are always gonna have just different anxieties and disorders. Disorder, right? And that's just what it is.
I can't get too judgy on all of this. As an adult now, it was definitely hitting middle age. I'm like, what are you doing? But I know if I thought hard enough, there's probably some dumb shit I did as a kid in order to look better. And it was probably equally as goofy as this image right here.
The goal is to improve mid-face projection and facial development. Sounds great if there was any scientific evidence that this would work. But there isn't, because it does not work. And every single influencer we found promoting this method was selling a course or their school community.
They're
so
always
be
selling
aware.
shit. That's what I always say. Just follow the breadcrumb trail. If it goes to them selling you some shit like their course or whatever, no, it's super fake.
Eyebrow maxing. The goal of eyebrow maxing is to increase the thickness and darkness of your eyebrows, as well as to optimize their spacing. Increasing thickness and darkness is usually achieved.
I gotta be honest, I think it's a by-face look. Let me give an example. Thick, dark eyebrows, awesome. Love that for you. There's many people, many faces, thick eyebrows look great on. There are also many faces it does not, and it looks weird. And there's also a too thick. And I will say that on darker hair, darker skin, it looks better. But have you seen thick blonde? It's weird. It's weird looking. But okay, let's.
I mean, there's a lot of things where it depends on like a person by person basis too, right?
Keep going.
Your eyebrows, as well as to optimize their spacing. Increasing thickness and darkness is usually achieved by using rosemary oil and microneedling to promote hair growth. And it works. Studies show that men with thicker and darker eyebrows are consistently perceived as more attractive and masculine. Many people use minoxidil instead of rosemary oil because it is significantly more effective. However, please keep in mind that minoxidil is not yet officially approved for facial usage. Another effective, yet often overlooked method.
Isn't it you can use it on your scalp? That's almost the face. I imagine, yes, there is between facial skin and like...
I mean, like a lot of this is also kind of insane when you think about it. Which, I mean, we already know that, but like, imagine just increasing the thickness of your eyebrows slightly enough. Like, what is that going to do? Someone was like, you know, I was gonna go out on a date with them, but there's just something about, oh, you know what? Now that they eyebrow maxed, I think that just pushed me over the edge. I think I'm gonna go on a date. Like, what? Like, what? Like, is this like at the club? Like you're competing with someone else? You're like, oh man, you know? Like, I guess this becomes the thing where they're like competing with each other, right? So you're just like, who's the most attractive? Which is like also insane. Like, I don't know.
Head skin, but also it's pretty close. So that's there's a lot of science being thrown about here. And the video's like, we are using science, but it's being used in a way that there's no room to actually discuss the science or learn more. And the things that are in the learn more category are very general and not necessarily what he's talking about. I don't feel like it's malicious what he's doing, but I do feel like it's kind of, it's just not good science or good fact checking.
The spacing of your eyebrows. For example, if the distance between your eyes is naturally narrow, then you can trim your eyebrows slightly farther apart to create the appearance of a more balanced out eye spacing. Gym maxing. The goal of gym maxing is to build a lean athletic body, which significantly increases perceived attractiveness.
So just like work out. We've known this shit. We've known that working out is like good. We've known that like forever.
A study.
The man's just using photos of two different people, and he's like,
It's just
skinny guy became. This is like those before and after
gym
photos
maxing
of people who lose weight or get buff or whatever, and it's just a different person, but they're trying to sell you something.
Müller and colleagues showed that being athletic and lean increases attractiveness by over 30% for both genders. Lifting also boosts testosterone and growth hormone. Both are linked to more defined and masculine facial features over time. Beard maxing. Beard maxing is the idea of maximizing your beard growth, thickness, and style to enhance facial aesthetics.
Dude, beard
There's
maxing,
just
hell
something
yeah.
so funny about it. In my mind, beard maxing would be, oh, I'm trying to make my beard look good, which I try. That's one of the few things I try a great deal at. I love my beard and I trim it and I get in there and I do all the stuff. But I feel like this is the idea of dudes who can't grow a beard trying desperately to do so. And I sympathize. I could always grow a beard. I've never had to deal with the idea of having a patchy beard or whatever, or it not coming in right or it looking weird. So I sympathize. I feel like all this is just trying to get right with yourself. And I also sympathize with the idea of being like, look, I can't, so I'm going to get a surgery or get this thing done. I don't have an issue with it as long as we were honest with all of this. Like if everyone was just honest with what this was, rather than trying to scientifically it and be like, well, the reason why you would do this and this and this and this, who cares? Just do it if you want. It doesn't matter if there's like, well, there's science behind it, so it should be normal. Let people live their lives, man.
Especially.
I mean, I think they're living their lives. They just want a reason to like do this shit. Like, I think again, most people are. It's probably a thing, like we said, like I want to grow a beard, like he just mentioned, right? I haven't had a problem growing a beard since like, you know, the high school. Then it was like patchy. I used to have the chin strap, right? And then it like actually all came in. So like whatever. But then there's people who like they want to grow hair, right? They don't have, you know, crazy hair growth. They don't have the ability to grow a beard. So they're just like, how do I do this, right? The people start seeking answers to do that because people, again, it kind of just stems back to insecurities or not being confident in yourself, right? And being like, maybe this will make me more attractive. Maybe this will help me find a partner. Maybe this will make me popular, right? Like it kind of stems back to that, but that's just like intrinsic. I don't know. That's the word I want to go with like, wanting to fit in and be social and like be liked by other people and just, that's just what it feels like to me. I mean, sure, there's going to be other reasons people want to do this, but that's, I would say that's probably the most common one, is just wanting to be liked, wanting to, become a better you, but it becomes like you become like an insane version of you after all this shit.
Jawline definition and overall masculinity. A well-grown beard can create...
Also, there is a lot of jaw talk happening. I would say most of these are about your jaw, which is very funny because I wonder if it's like that's a streamer thing or like an internet thing where most people see you from kind of here up, and that's the thing that you present to the world the most, so that's what you might as well focus on. I just don't know. I don't know why we're very jaw obsessed here.
The illusion of a stronger chin, a better jawline, and better facial symmetry.
Stronger chin, better jawline. Like it feels very modern. You know what I mean? Like everyone has an ethos.
I wouldn't say it's very modern. I mean, I feel like the type of shit we like is based in like hundreds or thousands of years of evolution, right? I wouldn't say that it's like the only thing, but like, there's going to be different reasons why. Like, there's got to be. Hold on, I'm going to look this up. I don't want to go to one of these websites either. Like, so I'm not about to go to like jawliner.com. Is there like an actual, website that like isn't one of these? There's got to be one, right? Let's see. Why is it just okay? Here we go. I don't want to go to Reddit either. Maybe somebody on Reddit. They're just talking about how to increase your jawline. Like, let's see, facial symmetry is obviously a thing, right? People like symmetrical faces, symmetrical features. There has to be. I mean, listen, I don't think all of a sudden people like jaws because of live streamers and like camera angles. The scientific appeal of jawlines. This is from strongergum.com. Quam? Let's see. I mean, modern lifestyles, however, have led to a decline in natural jaw muscle use. So, I mean, I could see that. So maybe I would probably argue that it's less about having an insane jaw and more about not having a lack of jaw. And I feel like things like beards and other stuff can also help to strengthen that illusion that you have a stronger jaw when you might not. So that's probably what I would say. Wait, it says, okay, here's an actual thing. A research product conducted at Duke University suggested that individuals with more attractive facial features, including well-defined jawline, were perceived as more competent and trustworthy, potentially impacting professional and social outcomes. Okay, yeah, that would make sense. I mean, there's definitely that type of thing to it, right? Where it's also it'll increase your ability to just work your way up in the social world or professional world, which I guess it just depends on what you're doing in life at that point. Or, it also, there's probably other things where if you're just bad at socializing in general, it doesn't matter if your jawline's good or not. People would be like, this guy's weird, right? It's just, if it's a thing to add to your toolkit if you're already good at socializing. This is like the type of shit that like moves people up the corporate ladder or whatever, Anyway.
So it's like, yeah, go to the gym, go lift weights, have a sexy body, da-da-da-da. Well, there's one thing you just haven't considered. Is your face sexy enough? But facial features and facial attraction is different for everybody. That's ingrained in you. You have different preferences. Everyone likes a different face. Hell, I still don't understand why people swoon over Benedict Cumberbatch, but they do, and I'm like, all right, enjoy.
I mean, there's definitely variation in what people like, which is the main thing here, right? Like, for every woman that likes a guy that's over 6 foot, there's going to be a woman that likes a guy under 6 foot, right? There's going to be someone that likes skinny guys, someone that likes bigger guys, someone that, whatever. Right? There's going to be a whole bunch of different things. But in contrast to what he's saying, there's also going to be kind of a baseline normalcy of what people find attractive. And so I think what they're doing here is they're kind of just taking a bunch of surveys or polls or whatever it might be and saying, what do you find attractive? And that just turns out that the majority of people are going to say these features are what I find attractive. Now, that doesn't mean that they would also date somebody that doesn't have those things, right? I think that's one of the big common denominators or factors that's getting left out here. Just because somebody's like, I like people with a big jawline, doesn't mean that they are only going to date people with a big jawline, right? I mean, there's somebody that's like, hey, you know what? Maybe I find brunettes the most attractive. And then they meet somebody and they're blonde and they're like, actually, they're pretty cool, right? Like, like, I don't know. It's just, it's like preferences. And, these things just tie into that. Like, it's going to be people have preferences. The population, the human population have different preferences and normalcies and things like that. And it's just, it is what it is.
But I don't get it. Yeah, everyone's face is different. Everyone's different. It's weird that everyone's like, what if we all had the same face? But then you end up like actresses in Hollywood where they all start to look like Margot Robbie after a while.
That's why some guys look unrecognizable, clean shaven. Your beard growth is mostly genetic, but by using serums or minoxidil in combination with microneedling, you can speed up the process and fill out a patchy beard. Multiple studies show that a beard drastically increases perceived masculinity, but please keep in mind that increased masculinity does not have to equate increased attractiveness. Zygo pushing. Zygo pushing is the belief that you can grow your cheekbones by literally pushing on them with your thumbs. The concept behind it is simple. Regular force might stimulate bone remodeling, similar to how braces move teeth. However, unlike orthodontics, Zygo pushing
it is not similar to how braces push teeth. I mean, I guess in like the cosmic grand scale of things, sure, but like
probably lacks both intensity and duration needed to induce structural change. And there are no studies supporting its effectiveness, at least yet.
That "at least yet" shit is so whack. At least,
yeah.
This is the kind of thing that like a crazy dude says when it's like, well, they're turning the frogs gay. And while there's no study that indicates those gay frogs exist yet, there are indications that if we did study it, those frogs would be gay. You can kind of say whatever you want if you say, well, nothing says it's real, but that's because no one's tested for it yet.
Sleep maxing is the
I mean, that's it's kind of, there's numerous things that do that. I can think of quite a lot of them. It's just, it's an easy way of doing that. Like, hey, you know what? Aliens aren't here. At least not yet, right? My religion, it hasn't been proven yet, but it's better than all the other religions, of course. I mean, like, people can do that all the time. It feels like a way to just kind of bypass the filter of your brain being like, hey, maybe this isn't real. And you're like, you know what? I think it's real. It just hasn't been proven yet, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, carry on.
idea of optimizing your sleep, not just for energy or recovery, but to actively improve your appearance. Studies consistently show that during deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone, reduces cortisol, and repairs the skin and connective tissue.
True, sleep is
that
good.
means reduced puffiness, clearer skin, and even better eye area definition. Chronic sleep deprivation, on the other hand,
I just now noticed, I was about to say, this really does feel like all those years of Cosmo for women, and now guys are getting on that train. Ignoring the insanity of this, the idea of men taking care of themselves a little more is honestly fine with me. There's a lot of guys that are like, you really should do a little bit more. But anyway, I just realized I was so caught up in everything this guy was saying, I wasn't looking at his set, his room, whatever this is. I'm trying to figure out what vibe he's trying to put across. Because when you watch a video game YouTuber, for example, they might have gaming stuff behind them to let you know, like, oh, this is a gamer who games, who collects things or whatever. This is a man who has plants in the foreground with a candle, plants in the background, one framed poster on a wood desk in what I'm going to assume is the attic. It's a weird vibe. Like, I don't know what he...
Well, Jesse didn't even mention whatever the hell this is. It's like a broken vase on the left next to his computer. It's like a vase got cracked in half. Like, what the hell? And then like a green tea and jasmine candle. Also, I'm pretty sure like candles are also not healthy for you, right? Especially if you got it right next to where you're working. I mean, and listen, if you're trying to health max out here, I wouldn't be breathing in all those all those soot fumes, you know what I'm saying? On the green tea and jasmine. I personally, it hasn't been proven yet, but I've heard studies, the green tea and jasmine candles increase soy beta levels by 40%, negating all of your Looksmaxxing abilities. I've heard that. Trust me.
He's trying to tell me, I guess, cozy? But the video's not cozy. There's nothing cozy about this video.
Increases inflammation and water retention, making your face look dull, bloated and older. Bone smashing. The goal of bone smashing is to make your facial bones grow thicker and more pronounced by hitting them with a hard object like a hammer. The idea also comes from Wolf's Law.
That shit's insane,
I
dude.
thought bone smashing was you got surgery. You're telling me that there are dudes out there that bash their face with a hammer?
It's kind of like surgery.
Smashing, according to Urban Dictionary, is the art of manipulating one's face's bone structure with tools such as a hammer to create a more defined jaw.
Bone smashing, which now I know way too much about.
Bullshit. No way. No way. That's just what these dudes
Damn, dude. Editor just absolutely destroying Jesse here.
who have the money to get facial surgery say. Wolf's Law states that bone in a healthy animal will adapt to the loads under which it is placed.
Just imagine hitting yourself with a
particular
hammer.
bone increases, the bone will remodel itself over time, become stronger to resist that sort of loading. The inverse is true as well. If the loading on a bone decreases, the bone becomes less dense. Hence, people going into space and losing bone density because they're not using their bones to keep them upright or whatever. This is being used a lot to say that doing all this other stuff
They
is
really like using
possibly
Wolf's
going to
Law,
help
yeah.
you. But again, going back to the same thing with the cold stuff, it's not necessarily what that's saying. Pressure on bones can make bones grow, but it's not saying that the things being listed here are part of that. It's not in the descriptors of this. It's not saying that your face bones will change drastically. I keep saying the same thing because it all seems nonsense.
But there's not a single study backing that up, and even if it worked, it would be nearly impossible to remodel the bones symmetrical on your own. And even worse, studies show that repeated head impacts, even low intensity ones, can reduce cognitive function over time. Think of professional
I was gonna say, hitting yourself with a hammer seems pretty damn insane.
Yeah, you're giving yourself like micro CTE trauma, same way like NFL players are. You're also like, you're probably causing like low inflammation to your face, right? Like you dump your head in cold water to reduce the inflammation. Then you start hitting yourself with a hammer and then it increases inflammation. You're like, bro, I gotta dunk my head in the water again. And you're just like dunking your head in ice water and like hitting yourself with a hammer. All right.
If this is really a thing people do, I'm convinced it's they got facial surgery and then are saying, oh, I bone smashed maxed, bro.
I mean, there's I would say the rich people that are promoting their program and the streamers and YouTubers doing it are saying that. But I think Jesse is severely underestimating the general public. The same way he severely underestimates YouTube comments and like, he's like, there's no way the people in the comments believe this shit. Like, I don't know, man. I think there's without a doubt just thousands of people hitting themselves with a hammer. Like, I have no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind.
Maybe their audience understands what that really means, but
Absolutely not.
the fact that this is being presented as you would just hammer yourself is wild.
The Looksmaxxing industry is full of people who try to exploit your insecurities by selling you their course, their guide, or their school community.
Yep.
Sadly, on social media, the more extreme your opinion is, the more viral it gets. That's why influencers advertise methods that are not scientifically backed.
That's why we have the president we have today.
Methods that don't work and methods that will harm you. So next time you see a trend on social media, please do your own research before trying it, or simply subscribe to our
I tried
channel.
with this video.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think this is a malicious video trying to like scam people. It's explaining the situation, but I don't know that it's doing it in a way that is like really scientific. Shiro Protocol
I
just
mean, that's pretty much every like YouTube short, Facebook reel, Instagram reel, TikTok health person that's out there. They're just like, it's got chemical in it, it's bad. And then it's like, what's your research? I read an article by my program. That's all this shit is.
has a bunch of videos that are riding the wave of dude bro culture, but not jumping in the deep end. You know what I mean? He's getting views from people who want to know about this information because they're probably interested in it. And then he's riding the whole line of like, well, I'm not saying it's real, but these are things you could do. And then he says, but some influencers out there, they're really trying to scam you, so be careful of them. But also, don't research too much into what I've said to you. I feel the exact same way I felt after we watched the Looksmaxxing, bone smashing guys from before. It's kind of sad. There's a level of braggadocio.
I mean, this is like the type of shit. He's only doing this to make money, right? I mean, he's making these videos. He says sponsor free, but he's still making ad revenue. Like, you're not fooling me, all right? Like, this is people aren't doing this shit out of the kindness of their heart. Like, people are making money. That's what it is. If the YouTube ad revenue and all this shit went away and all like the people'd stop, you know? And if the people keep going, they would try to sell something else, like they'd sell their program or whatever the shit, right? That's what this all boils down to.
Dociousness about all of this, about showing off of how you know, are better than everyone else, because that's part of it. Like that whole like alpha dude bro attitude is like, well, I'm just a better guy than you. Mogging, right, as we learned, is essentially just being like the best looking guy in the room. It is supremely sad. If you can healthily work on yourself in a way that isn't to fill whatever void these guys are trying to fill, do it. I have no problem with that. Have fun. Yikes, this is a rabbit hole that every time I peer in, it's one of those killer rabbits pops out and bites my throat off every time. Too old for it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely just, I would say all just based in insecurity and body dysmorphia, honestly. And then, you know, obviously a lot of it just stems up to people making money off people with insecurities and body dysmorphia. And that's what I feel like it is. I mean, you know, maybe there's more to it, but that's kind of how I view it. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. There's more videos down there. Thank God next week we can watch the Digital Circus episode. Okay? Okay. See ya.